You are 27. Ryan lies awake most nights doing mental math about his credit card balance, replaying the numbers over and over like a song stuck on loop that won't fade out. By the time he actually gets to work each morning, he's already spent his best mental energy on a problem that has nothing to do with his job at all. His manager notices he seems distracted lately, mentions it once in passing, but has no real idea why, and Ryan doesn't offer an explanation. You are 27. A few weeks later, Ryan misses a small but obvious error in a report because part of his attention was quietly somewhere else entirely, running the same financial calculations it always runs in the background now, uninvited and exhausting. Nobody connects the mistake to money, because why would they? Everyone just assumes he's having an off week. You are 28. Emma, his coworker, is dealing with her own version of the exact same thing. A car repair bill she hasn't figured out how to cover yet without dipping into money she can't actually spare. She turns down a stretch assignment that could have led to a promotion, a project that would require travel and unpredictable hours she genuinely can't risk right now, while she's already juggling 2 side gigs just to stay current on bills each month. Nobody in the room knows why she said no. They just quietly note it and move on to someone else without asking. You are 29. A workplace study lands in Ryan's inbox from HR one Tuesday morning. Something about financial wellness he almost scrolls right past. He nearly deletes it without reading a word, but one specific line stops him cold. Employees dealing with financial stress lose an average of several hours of productive focus a week, not from being lazy or uncommitted, but from the sheer mental load of unresolved money problems running quietly in the background of everything else they try to do all day. You are 30. Ryan starts noticing it in himself with uncomfortable clarity he hadn't expected. He turns down a networking opportunity that could genuinely help his career because attending would cost more than he wants to explain to himself right now, even privately. He says yes to overtime he doesn't actually want, purely because he needs the extra money that week, trading time he'd honestly rather spend building new skills for hours that just keep him treading water in place. You are 31. Emma finally gets the car repair paid off after months of careful budgeting, and for the first time in a long while, she raises her hand for a project during a team meeting without hesitating first the way she used to. Her manager later tells her privately that her energy seems completely different lately, sharper, more present in the room, more willing to take a visible risk without flinching. You are 32. Ryan sits down one evening and actually maps it out on paper, connecting dots he'd never bothered to connect before in any deliberate way. Every financial stretch he's been through over the years has quietly cost him something at work too. A missed opportunity here, a small mistake there, a moment where he played noticeably smaller than he actually could have, not because he lacked ability, but simply because part of his mind was always somewhere else at the exact wrong moment. You are 33. Ryan builds the same kind of automatic system he's used for saving before, except now applied specifically to a dedicated emergency fund. 3 full months of expenses set aside and left completely untouched no matter what tempting reason shows up. He doesn't really think of it as investing in the traditional sense. He thinks of it instead as protecting his own attention, buying back the mental bandwidth stress had quietly been renting. You are 35. With the emergency fund fully built and sitting untouched, Ryan notices something shift in himself that genuinely surprises him. He raises his hand for the stretch assignment he would have automatically avoided 2 years earlier without a second thought. He negotiates his salary during a review instead of quietly accepting the first number offered, something he'd never actually had the mental space to attempt honestly before now. You are 37. Ryan gets a version of the promotion Emma once turned down years earlier, before her own financial situation had fully stabilized. He thinks about her often during that stretch, wondering quietly how many other people around him are also performing well below their real ceiling, not from any lack of talent or ambition, but simply from carrying an invisible weight that nobody else in the room can actually see or account for. You are 39. Ryan mentions the connection casually to a younger coworker who seems distracted and uncharacteristically hesitant during a big project that week. The coworker, visibly surprised anyone even noticed at all, quietly admits he's behind on rent this month and has been for a while. Ryan doesn't lecture him about budgeting or make him feel small about it. He just says, "That's probably costing you more at work than you realize." It's not really about willpower. It's about how much room your brain actually is left over on some days. Here's what almost nobody says out loud in performance reviews or career advice columns, no matter how well-intentioned. Financial stress isn't just a personal problem that quietly stays contained at home after work officially ends for the day. It follows people directly into meetings, into decisions, into the exact moments that actually end up determining careers, the risks people are or aren't willing to take, the opportunities they raise their hand for or quietly let pass by without ever saying a word out loud. The people who seem to advance faster, who take more visible risks and recover more easily when those risks occasionally don't work out, usually aren't any smarter or even more talented than everyone else in the building around them. They've simply built enough of a financial buffer that their full attention is actually available for the career decision sitting directly in front of them, instead of being quietly split with an entirely different problem running in the background the whole time, draining focus nobody else can see. If you've ever wondered why you keep playing it safe at work despite clearly wanting more for yourself, this might be exactly why. Subscribe if you want to see exactly how to build the kind of financial foundation that finally gives your career your full, undivided attention.